Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Chris, and today I wanted to ask a question to everyone that's watching this video. And that question is, did stacking in any way help you during the pandemic? What I mean by that is, I was thinking the other day, as far as, one of the big perks of stacking is obviously preparing for the unknown. Something comes out of nowhere, whether that's SHTF or a financial issue that comes up out of nowhere. Having a stack definitely gives you a lot of flexibility to be able to deal with things like that. But when I thought about it in a more practical manner, I thought of some recent instances other than just the pandemic that may have given the opportunity to really show, hey, is your stack really going to be there for you when you need it? So obviously the pandemic led to a lot of financial issues for a lot of different people, whether it was work issues, increased expenses for, childcare, anything like that. And because of that, having a stack, like I said, like even if it meant that you had to liquidate, at least you had something that you have put aside for something like that, for emergencies. I know that a lot of stackers do that, put aside, a certain portion that if they need to liquidate, they would. And that kind of stuff is important. But one of the other recent instances that came to mind when I was thinking of that type of a situation was the storm in Texas. Because the storm in Texas was a really good example of something that just comes out of nowhere, where the normal rules go right out the window. If you don't have power, if you don't have water for an extended period, there's not much you can do. You can't really use like your credit card or debit card to get stuff because no one's going to be able to ship anything to you. And your neighbor or people in the neighborhood aren't going to accept your debit card payment. So that being the case, I'm assuming that at some point the barter system might have come into play, whether it was trading, we have this, maybe you can give us that, or even things like, precious metals. Some people may have used it. I obviously didn't, get an opportunity to see that over here because we haven't experienced anything like that lately. But an interesting time. I do remember that Inefficient Stacker, I believe he lives in Texas or in the area. And he was saying that, during that time, during the storm, that, everything pretty much went out the window. His stack really didn't do him any good. Even the guns and ammo really were pretty useless at that point. I'm sure they were still valuable, for protection or different things, just in case if it got to that point. But for the most part, what he was saying was that a lot of the things that he, had been taught or had thought that would be useful in a situation like that really weren't. I would think that a lot of that depends specifically on the situation. Again, that storm was pretty unprecedented. I mean, apparently it happens every 100 years or so in the area. But my question to you is, have you seen any issues like that required you to use your stack as the tool it was meant to be? Again, a lot of channels, including my own, talk about the flexibility that having the stack gives you. But if the time comes and you're not able to use it, I mean, is it really worth it in that manner? And again, there are all the other uses for your stack. Obviously, the protection of value over time, protection against inflation, things like that. Some people consider it an investment, not me personally. But those things are different. Again, specifically what I'm talking about right now is, even like I said, like if it's not something like a natural disaster, even during the pandemic itself, like was there any time when having your stack really went above and beyond to help you in any way? I think it's a pretty interesting question because everybody's situation is different. We don't all get to see like the specific instances where you would be able to use that kind of thing. I've never traded silver to another person except for cash, but I mean, if it came down to it, I would have no problem bartering for something else for precious metals, whether it's gold, silver, platinum, whatever it is. If I want something and I need something, that's exactly what it's for, a medium of exchange. But all of that being said, like, you know, if those times come and it really doesn't play out that way, you know, is that basically that we've created a false narrative that we would be able to use it in that manner? And that's my question for you guys. So if any of you have anything interesting as far as being able to use your stack to benefit you or serve you during a time like that, let me know. I'm very interested. And especially if you tried to and it didn't work out as planned, I want to know that too, because all of these things are important for all of us to know. And the more of those things that we share versus the things that we talk about every day, which is it a good use of your money and things like that, you know, knowing what we can do with it when the time comes is very important. So that's it for today, and I hope to hear your responses. Take care.